Okay, awesome. So I'm super excited, you guys. I cannot believe that it's almost the end of the month. I guess it's kind of like a whirlwind, but I feel like this is the perfect month for me to lead the recalibration. Are you guys getting feedback from me or no?
No, I can hear you clear. I'm not hearing weird
Okay,
stuff in
perfect.
the background.
So I feel like I remember when I was in Laguna Beach, and I remember I was like, there was like the ocean was like coming up, and it was like recalibration. It was like literally booming through me, and I saw it. And I feel like this whole month, in a lot of ways, for me, and I feel like for a lot of my clients, was a recalibration in many ways. From me leaving LA, having my PhD, like getting approved for finishing a year early, launching the Imagine Agency. We have the retreat that's coming up. We have one spot left. And all of my client transformation. I mean, I know, James, you had the launch of your show. We've had one of my clients, like, for sure leave corporate. We've had 2 new people that have come on to the agency. There's just been a lot of like movement in my own personal life, and then like my clients as well, like seeing their movement. Like we have another one who's just starting his purpose work. I know, Justin, we're working on with creating clarity on what you're meant to do and having your purpose really flourish. And so it's just been one of those months where I feel like it was a total calibration of my frequency. And even what I've manifested by being here in Mexico, there's been 2 people that while I've been here, they were workers at places that have been staying, and one of them doubled their income by just being in the same reality of me. They got the job at the Tiger Woods resort, which was like obviously one of the next levels for them. And one woman, I just got a text message today, who met me, and she was saying like she's never slept so well, and she's so excited to read through my books and see what else comes through. Like there, and then I had it's a really big boutique hotel that's in Todos Santos, where I just was. They just viewed all my stories. I think they're going to invite me to stay to do a writing piece for them, because I did all these other writing pieces for everyone else I've stayed. Like all this stuff is happening. That was, I feel like, just a total recalibration of who I was meant to become, what's meant to happen. So it's funny because every time I teach this, I feel like it comes through my life as well. And so what I hope that this month brought you, and I hope that it continues to bring in as we end 2021 and enter into 2022, what to be aware of is that whatever's happening in your life right now, sometimes it may feel like there's like all these things are blowing up. It's like kind of like, oh my God, like this feels like it's going crazy. What's happening? And I want you to know that the end of 2021 is the burning of all karmic cycles, which means that anything that has been within your default system, you've defaulted that, you've thought that way, but it's no longer serving you, or there's relationships or habits. There's actual things, like maybe like shopping or products that are in your life that are no longer serving you. Like it may feel like there's a big like burning, or like, oh my God, all of this is going to like shit in a way. That might feel like it's a nice way to say it. My whole life is like going wayward. But the truth of what I want to share is that that's happening because there's this burning of karma. There's this burning of what no longer is serving you, what's no longer meant to be with you in 2022, because it cannot come, as that's almost 2, 2, 2. Obviously it's not, it's 2 and then a 0 and then 2 2s, but that is a very angelic number where things are moving into an alignment, things are moving back into a flow. And so anything that's not allowing you to move with flow, that's a blockage, that's not letting things move through you, it's has to burn, it has to go away. So the rest of this year may feel a little bit chaotic, even though it's not, it's all working for you. But that is what this year represented in a lot of ways, the burning of all old structures, or the things that needed to be brought to the surface so that they could be burnt. Because if it's not brought forth, it's in the shadow, it can't be burnt to the ground. So it's almost like the rest of this year, a really good mantra through the recalibration would be like, continue to show me the shadows, continue to bring forth the shadows, continue to bring light to the shadows, like continue that process so that the things can be burned, like really releasing it so that recalibration can take place from a balanced and whole and harmonious state for, what's coming up in the revelation we're all experiencing together. So that's a little bit of what I wanted to share. Yeah, I mean, my energy is just really recalibrated with traveling and even writing and doing these new reviews that I've done. I did them for what's it called, eating places in LA, but now I'm doing it for stays here. And so it's like I'm getting all these opportunities, but it's funny when we listen to that nudge and we follow through what can be brought forth for us. So with that, I'd love to open up Q&A of what happened for you guys this month or what's on your heart and mind, and we can go into the Q&A of recalibration. You can unmute both of you or one of you.
Hello.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Colleen.
James is here too. He's just driving home from Long Island. Any questions or anything you want to go through with the recalibration?
Trying to think.
Justin?
Oh. Yes. So going forward to the recalibration is, it says the burning of everything we were told ourselves.
Yeah. So remember in call one, remember we ended call one with like really writing down on that list, whatever it was not serving you. And then you were going to put it in a candle and you burned it. And it was like burning whatever was no longer serving you.
Yeah, I remember that.
So the rest of this year and the prophecies, like if you look at the ancient teachings, what's happening, we're going through a revolution on the planet right now. And so on what we're going through on the planet right now, it's for the old earth to die and for the rebirth of the new world to come, which is meaning that we're really dying to linear system thinking and we're birthing to more of a creative, sensational, balanced way of living instead of like this masculine, hard, systematic, let's get things done. This is how things go, run it through the process. It's a much more slower, creative, feminine state of being to then go through the systems and processes the world has already birthed. And so this time of why, COVID has really happened, obviously it's happening because there's a lot of reasons, but really the prophecies, if you look into it, it's occurring so that we can slow down, pay attention to the body and look at the dis-ease that's occurring within us so that we can return to a easy, balanced, peaceful state. And that's occurring for many reasons. But even that is, birthing the whole health and wellness industry at a much, much higher capacity than it would have if COVID never happened, which is what we really all want as healers and new age leaders and activators and creatives.
Oh, actually, now that you mention it, now I have a lot to say, actually, of what you've been saying.
Perfect. Do you have a question or do you have one? Or yeah.
Well, it's not so much of a question, it's more of a response to all this. For you see, I've also been studying Chinese medicine. I made up this theory last year that the year 2020 and also year 2021 is a metal year. If those are what metal is in Chinese astrology, it's a very antisocial kind of element. It's good at, it likes shiny, pretty things. Mostly likes to be a hoarder, but however, it's heavy, so it needs some kind of motivation or static or heat to get it to move.
Mm-hmm.
So 2020, 2021, or anything that has a 0 or a 1 in one's place, it's antisocial, hence the term where you kept social distancing, especially last year.
So what you're sharing right now, this would be content that you need to post on Instagram. Like you would be doing like a series because you know about this. You already have the wisdom. So you would want to almost do like, hey guys, I'm going to do a 5-day or 10-day astrology education or, universal or cosmic update and what we can expect through the end of the year, how you can best be prepared for 2022. And then what you and I would want to work on in the Create Your Fairy Tale Life is what your offer is going to be after that. So it's like you do a free 10-day or 5-day reading to your page, and then we want to sell them something or offer something that you would then do one-on-one. Maybe it's a one-on-one astrology reading. Maybe it's a recalibration. Maybe it's a masculine feminine session, but it'd be like a one-on-one session with you after you did this free offering.
Yeah. Now, going into 2022.
You don't have to tell me, this is what you would be doing for your content on social media.
Okay.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So this isn't the audience for you, but your audience you already have on social media is the audience for you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But we just need it focused. So instead of just like hopping on, let's say like once every few days or once a week, you'd want to have, okay, December 1st, you could even lead up to this. You could do posts up to December 1st, which is what, 3 days away. I'm going to do a 10-day overview on what just happened and what to expect for 2021. And you and I can talk in Voxer to lay this out of what we do leading up. But this way, then you have that. And then what you're offering could be at the end of every one of the free 10 days would be a one-on-one session with you.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Complete sense.
Perfect. But see how you just recalibrated.
I always recalibrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a human design.
Exactly.
I'm a generator.
Amazing. Okay, James, did you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like there are days I feel that I'm holding things together that ain't worth holding together.
Mhm.
And there's a few ways I can handle it. Either just burn it down entirely and start over, which is more upheaval than my current comfort level, or just find out, surgically, how to transition, how to pivot, from the old self, the old endeavors to the new endeavors, and the thoughts and concepts that you work on.
Yeah, so your biggest thing is always going to be, excuse my language, but it really is fuck the how, because you're my programming as well. You and I were conditioned through the corporate world. I've done a lot to maneuver out of it. There's still times I go back in, but we've been conditioned a lot of this is how something has to happen, or this is how it's going to do it before I believe, before I do the thing, before I go into the unknown. We have a little bit of a larger age gap. So you've had more experience and time in that conditioning than, let's say, I did in this lifetime, but we've had, equal times we've had it before. So your mantra, your space to be is, I trust the magic. I show up for the magic. I trust in the unknown. Like, let me give you an example. So this was during the pandemic, I think it was. So I just upgraded my one bedroom in my place, which was still $4,200 a month, into my 40, sorry, it was $3,500 a month, $3,500 a month, up into my $44,200 a month, two bathroom. And we still had a pool. We had a 2-bedroom or a 2-story gym. This is just me and my business. And obviously this is right when I was still really healing from letting my child go, birthing the 3rd book, running my business, having a team, and doing my PhD. So there was a lot going on. And on top of that, I made an investment with one of my mentors, which was an $8,000 a month investment. And she's absolutely incredible. But so anyway, when I did that, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to align to it. I was going to be late on my rent, and I was going to go negative into my business account by $2,000. And I knew I could go negative into that account by $2,000 and nothing, there's like no penalty besides $35 fee, or whatever, that you don't have the money and you're still charging. And so, I did that. And, I knew it was me late. I was late by 8 days, a portion of the rent, not all of the rent, a portion of the rent. And after that, I really started consistently hitting $20,000 cash months very shortly. If it was not that month, like after that, up into like now, like I said, like I did a podcast, I was like 15. I mean, very rarely. I don't think ever since I've hired her, I've ever had something under $20,000 cash month. And I even think it only dipped back down one time after I've hired her. And that was because it was something that was like stressful with my PhD. It had really nothing to do with my business. It was a stressful thing. So again, just to share with you, that was like something that was stressful, but it wasn't something that like, I still had the belief in knowing in myself. And then like, there was also a place, I think I've told you, I don't have credit cards anymore, but when I built my business, I built it on, I was traveling the world on credit. I understood how to leverage credit really well, and I'd never went into debt until I made a bad business decision with a mentor. And then when I made one of my first what's this called, investments with property, I took out a small loan. And I never really knew anything. But I literally did it, and then I made my money back so quick. I was like, what? This is so easy. And so I took out one other one, and then basically after that, I never needed the loans anymore because it was making money for me on the back end. So with you, I can't tell you exactly like, oh my God, there's this one where there does just have to be a line in the sand where you draw and you declare and you say, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is how it's going to be. And like, it will be unknown, but it should feel liberating at the same time. Does that make sense?
Very much so, because there have been times where I have stepped into the unknown after a degree of upheaval. And it did feel very much liberating. You know, both at the time and especially in retrospect.
Yeah. And you can't have both. You can't have this is how it's going to happen and the magic will show up. It just goes, I'm going to take the step and the magic will show up. Like, I don't know if there's so many things going on in my business and my life. So I don't know if I've said this publicly yet, but I think I told a little bit somewhere. So I stayed at this brand new, what do you call boutique hotel again, that was in Todos Santos. And that's like an hour north of Cabo. And I really wanted to go. Someone on the plane, right when I was like, you need to go. Everyone at my first place, like, you need to go. You're going to love it. So I go, and it's like this very nature, like, I mean, I've never even seen the stars that clear ever. Like, even in Michigan on a clear night, like that was like next level. I mean, you look at the sky, every time you look at the sky, you saw five shooting stars. Like, it wasn't even like, you didn't have to wait. It was just like, they were literally twinkling everywhere. Like, I have a video I might post on Facebook, but I'm not sure, but because it was just like so next level. And so anyway, I found this boutique hotel and I go there and it's just gorgeous. I mean, I'm like their fourth guest they've ever had. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. Like, the guys from Italy, I mean, just next level beautiful. The customer service is amazing. You have this like organic breakfast and lunch that it was just next level. So how did before I got there, right, I passed by this house basically, this hotel, but it's like a boutique hotel house. Like, they're all kind of, I don't know how to describe it. So anyway, so I passed by it and I pull into this driveway. I pass one street, I pass another, there's one house on this block street, and then there's another one. I pull into this woman's driveway and she's like, oh my God, no. And so she gets me her Wi-Fi, we connect, and I just passed it by like 2 blocks basically, or 2 dirt road blocks, so like longer blocks, but blocks. So I go back, I get her number. Her name is the same as my mentor's name. And then the next day I wake up and she invites me over for Thanksgiving. I'm thinking, okay. So I go over there and I didn't really look at the house fully when I like pulled into her driveway. It was more like getting my Wi-Fi, trying to get out of her space, because I didn't know this lady and I'm in Mexico, but she was from New York. And so she invites me over. And so I come over, it is 40 people, 35 to 40 people at this Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, we had Mexico, we had Czech Republic, we had London, we had Canada, we had all over the US, we had Taiwan. I mean, there was literally, it was like all these different countries in this house. This house, I'm not telling you was a mansion from Mexico standards. This house was a mansion in American standards in Mexico. Like, I mean, this was a massive fucking house they built it from the ground up. It was gorgeous. And where was I going with this? Okay. And so I go there, right? And there's a guy who has a podcast of people who have self-healed themselves. I'm going to be on his podcast. It's a massive podcast. Got that. There was a couple other women that were there. I mean, it was just next level. And then I wake up the next day and I have all these texts. So all these people were like, how you changed my life and you did this. And if I never thought I was going to really spend Thanksgiving alone, because I have practice in this or whatever. So I never really felt like that was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I wasn't focused on it. I didn't know I was going to pull into someone's driveway that was the wrong driveway that ended up being the right driveway. But if I was so focused on how was this going to work, how am I going to have a Thanksgiving? Where am I going to have Thanksgiving? Does Mexico have Thanksgiving? Does a small town have it? Am I going to, like, if I had all these questions that were going, instead of just being in my own life of like, let's find the hotel, let's stay at the hotel, let's whatever, I would have probably missed that opportunity because I was taking myself out of the present moment for what was just meant to happen. Like, I'm like, oh my God, it's a dirt road. I'm nervous. Oh, this is like down. If it's up, oh my God, is this going to happen? I have no idea what's going on. Like, if I was all that way, like I should turn around instead of like just trusting. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to this first street. It's on a dirt road. Then I'll pull around, but whatever, I'm going to end up finding it. If not, I'll go back into the town. Like, that's what I was thinking in my mind. I'm like, whatever. But if I was more stressed than like, whatever, it's going to work out, like, then that's what I would create in a way. Does that make sense? James?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It was a good story. Definitely, tell me about your business and, your Thanksgiving experience. You weren't.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I get, as you're well aware, I get, hung up on the now, whereas,
Nothing.
yeah, I just got home. There she is. She's missed me for 4 days. Yeah, just that's a great example, of how you just took 1 foot forward, you trusted in the magic and you had magical results.
And that's all you can do, because you have to remember, and I've said this before, but if you won't do it now, if you won't do the thing now, take the action, make the space, which you are taking the action. You've made the show, you have the show, you're going to show up for your second show, right? That's coming out. Or did you already do your second show? You already did your second show.
Yeah, I'm working on my second show. I got to do another edit of it. I want to flush it out.
1 second. Sorry, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Just give me one. I asked for more pillows. They brought it. 1 second.
All right.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I asked for more pillows before this started because I was a con. So anyway, but what I wanted to say with you, James, is that, yes. Okay. If you won't do it now, like if you're not going to take the action now, which you are taking the action, and you do have every other Wednesday, right? You were going to come out with the show for a full year. That was your commitment that you made. So if you're doing that, right, and you're doing it when you don't have anything, that means that's going to let's build it. But if you have even $40,000 in the bank, let's say, or if you have whatever, and you're still like, oh, I'm not going to take the action. It's like, if you had $40 million, you still didn't take the action, because you still would be making the same excuses of like, now it would be like, I'm too busy, or I have too much, or, I'm comfortable living, so there's no need to do it. Like, I'm happy. Like, I should just be happy with the 40 million. Like, if you're not doing it with zero, like, when I started traveling the world, I had $5,000 in my bank account. I mean, I remember leaving my job in New Zealand and I was like, oh my shit, like, how is this going to work? Like, literally, my book comes out in a month. I was working with one mentor in Miami. I was traveling the world. She was doing my funnels. So like relied on her, knew nothing about funnels. And I was like learning about this, and I was posting, and she was doing my ads. I started getting some people enrolled, but I mean, yeah, it was like, holy shit. I mean, like literally, I mean, I don't know. It was like kind of crazy in a way, but then like I met that one mentor, and it was $30,000 a year for her mentorship. And it was like, what was it? $1,100 a month over 2 years. I was like, oh, I figured I can do that. If not, I'll just fuck my credit up. Like that, literally, this is what I thought to myself, because I just knew my commitment to travel the world was so deep. Like, it was just like, I had to freaking do it. And it didn't mean I wasn't scared, or didn't mean that. I mean, I had massive anxiety attacks for sure. Like, like, I remember thinking, like, who the fuck spends, I've said this, like, who spends $5,000 to go to Fiji for a weekend? Like, what this is, like, you don't get any phone calls after. This is not like this is a solo weekend. You aren't even you are literally going for an event. You're not even like going snorkeling on a fucking yacht. Like, this is like, I'm like, this is like, who does this? Like, and then the 30,000. And then, I mean, yeah, I mean, even the masters, all the things, like, there's no way. Yeah. But I started spending that type of money because it got me more comfortable with earning that type of money.
Wow.
Because I was like, if I know I meant to live big in life and I meant to do whatever in life, then I have to get in this mindset of spending bigger. Sometimes you are going to lose money. Sometimes you are going to take risk on something and you are going to lose money. This is what, like, what can you do about it? Like, it's part of the thing. Like, but luckily I'm so abundant that doesn't even matter. Like but I mean, that's a process. That's a recalibration. That's like what we're going through here. Like that's a burning, like, you know, I've definitely not wasted. I mean, I learned challenging experiences through money, but like Grant Cardone said something the other day. It was interesting. He was like, you know, I met a billionaire one day and he lost $30 million in a day. This billionaire, he lost $30 million in one day. And then he's like, I didn't even see him blink an eye that he lost $30 million. Like, didn't even see him blink an eye. And then that same night, he went to a charity event and donated another $10 million. And Grant was like, that was literally the epitome of me understanding, like, holy shit, this just doesn't even fucking matter. I was like, that's insane. Like, I was like, that is a true, like, that's when you get to whatever, like, and even I felt like these people at their home, I mean, this is by no means, I mean, it's in Mexico, but it still was, I mean, a multi-million-dollar home. And probably by the time I'm done, it'll be close to a 3.8 to $5 million home. I mean, this home was extremely nice. And he, both of them, I mean, they both were incredible. But I was thinking, like, all these 30 people, I was like, they have opened their home, they have water, they have one. I mean, all this stuff I'm thinking, I'm like, this is like the epitome also of making it. They don't even know me, they know these people, but I'm like, they are like hosting their home as this place. And I don't know, that was another like eye opener. So like sometimes I think we get in this space of like, well, how is the money going to come, or how is it going to work? But it's like, okay, but once you really make it and you, whatever you're doing, if it's millions, whether it's maybe not 30 million in your life, but $30,000 or I don't know, whatever the loss could be, whatever it is, like, you just learn it's part of it, because the more money you make, the more money you're always going to make. Like, I don't even focus on what I spend. I always focus on what I earn. Like, I make my, you know, I make my payments to whatever I need to make it to, but like, I don't focus on every day, this is what I'm spending. And I'd much rather put my attention on what I'm earning, because that's more fun. And the more that I've earned in my business, the higher my profit margins have always been, or like they stayed consistent. But yeah, like, I don't know, like that, it's more of like the thing of you just have to make the choice and decision of like, this is who I want to be. Like, to me, even here, like, I always want to have an ocean view. I don't care if it's more money. I don't really care how much it is. I don't care where I'm staying. Like, besides that desert Azul, I mean, that was just gorgeous. They had like this huge infinity pool. Like, I don't know. There's these things, even when I travel, like I have this standard of what I want and where I want to be around. And that just naturally happens. And so, yeah, I mean, even with my team members, like, let's say when you onboard a new team member, like that takes more time to onboard someone, and you have to give them your social media, and they're going to be posting for you, and you have a new operating procedure, and you have to learn their time. Like, there's so many things you're learning, right? And you can say that's wasted time if someone leaves, but really you still always learn something about it. Like, it's cost more money to stay somewhere doing what you hate than going for what you love, because doing something you hate is just a low frequency, or it's not doing something that's your passion, what lights you up. Like, resisting that and putting the energy towards something keeping you stuck, like disconnected from your creative force, like that is costing you more money than any money you could lose.
Yeah, I mean, one of my old mentors was saying that, you know, I currently have a job in customer service and finance, and she says, you know, that's not who you are. You have to transition from it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's just, you know, as you're well aware, I'm hung up on the how to go about it. This is definitely helpful, just hearing what you have to say about your own experiences and about, you know, what I'm currently doing.
Well, this is what I hope. Did you hear back on your vacation or no?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you hear back on your vacation yet? Or
no, I did not hear about it yet.
Oh, I think they're waiting, because no news is good news.
Okay.
No news means it's good news. That means they're like trying to make it work. So I'm like, so because I know at the weekend in Mount Shasta, it will just change everything for you.
Oh, that's where we're having it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like this beautiful cabin that we got. I mean, it's next level. I'm so excited. We're talking with a few of the chefs right now too, for the private chefs too.
Oh my gosh.
It's exciting. So yeah. But yeah, so I think it's more of, yeah, your thing is just fuck the how, and just, you've just got to like choose it like every other Wednesday, no matter what it's going live. Like, I'm reaching out to these people, or I'm running on the page, or I'm posting about the show instead of just people. Like, it's just got to be this commitment, you know, like, I don't know, like for me, even like I normally I'm someone who posts like these long, profound, deep posts. I honestly have been so in my own space. I have not literally had a moment between my PhD and all of my client calls, and I'm doing all of these calls. I'm doing like I've not had a moment to actually, and plus I have new team members that are coming on. Like I've not had a moment to actually sit down and write like a deep, long, profound. I was like, well, I'm just gonna write these short, smaller ones that I'm learning because that is what it is. And honestly, like my Black Friday sale has been going great. We have a brand new program that I'm running that's going to start in December on sales. I've never done a sales program, so I'm excited about that. All of my clients and almost all my programs are doing like taking action and doing things. Like it's, I mean, one of them, I mean, we have her whole logo done and we have everything going. Like another one, she just got her first client online. We have a, you know, as you know, Don, and imagine he's taking massive action and we're getting clarity on what he's going to be doing, how he's going to be doing things and setting him up for 2022 to leave. I mean, it's like incredible. Everyone I'm surrounded with, I'm like, oh my God. And so, yeah, but even though I'm not doing these long profound posts, I'm still making time to post. I'm still making time to do the thing. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just taking it all in.
Justin, do you have anything or any other questions, either of you? No. James, anything else?
Yeah, let me think. I was trying to think of. Yeah, I know you gave me some. Yeah, I know you gave me some, moves to make next. I guess that's more what I was thinking of, and you've essentially already answered it.
Yeah, I mean, is it you made the commitment that you're going to have a podcast every other Wednesday, right? Was it every other Wednesday, whatever time that you're
Yeah,
going
and I've I mean, for various reasons / excuses. I mean, it has taken longer than I had anticipated, but I did some work on it this weekend in terms of getting, just trying to make sure the links to all the various podcast platforms work. And I got it. I did a thing about the Jimmy Daytona story, and I decided, I'm just going to elaborate. I'm just going to make an outline and elaborate it on a little bit further, and probably make a more meaty episode of it, and then post that episode.
Yeah, but no matter what, they're all good. Like even last week, like last Friday, I did not, I'm telling, this will be honest, like I did not want to do a freaking video with my podcast. And tomorrow, to be honest, I already feel like I really don't, like, this is kind of personal, but like, what's it called? I'm on my, what's it called? My moon cycle. Like, and I'm really very sensitive, like the first 2 days, like I do not want to do anything, but I'm going to show up and still do it. And even that means that I'm honest and I just say it on there. Like, that's just what I'm going to do. Like, it is what it is. I'm sitting here and I made a commitment that I'm going to do it once a week and I'm going to do it on YouTube. So here I am. It is what it is. Like, and last week was really short. It was much shorter than my usual ones. And I just said, honestly, wow, I think my things are becoming shorter because I'm getting more straight to the point. I've decided and declared, and then I make the decision and my results are happening faster. So maybe that's why I'm here today. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I have, like I said, I have really deep, prolonged things. And even my writing lately has been much shorter. Like it's been, but I've made that commitment, whatever that it was, and I'm going to follow through on it because I go first and the universe follows.
Well said.
Because without that, yeah, like it just, yeah. Like even like, let's say with my team members, like this was very different for me. I think I talked about this somewhere. With my team members, usually if something happens, even with people, I've had a habit of like cutting people off. Like, and it's not like in a bad way, but I've just been like, honestly, I'm just not fucking dealing with this. Like, and it's nothing like, I'm just like, this is not at a frequency I'm in a mood with. Like, either you get it or you don't. Like, that's really been me. And like, that's kind of the divine feminine in a way. It has like that wrath, like the feminine of like, listen, this is what it is. Either you're with it or come meet me when you get it. That is, and I'm like, okay, I have to change that a little bit, Colleen, because the world is not quite at the feminine yet. We've got to like bring it back. And remember, we're here to balance. So balance yourself, recalibrate yourself. And when I've done that, when things haven't gone right, honestly, like even with this team I just hired now, like things have not gone perfect and whatever that we've done, but they really are trying. So I'm like, okay, you could just let it go or see that these are learning curves and these are things that are making you an opportunity to be more compassionate, more loving, more peaceful, more graceful when things arise like this. That isn't really anyone's fault, but it is fucking frustrating. Like that's one of those things. But it was like, that was a learning thing for me. That was a recalibration for me. And I still followed through on my commitment that I'm not just going to leave the relationship. I'm not going to show up because I did that. But because I'm doing that, there's more sales that are coming in when I'm not even present. Like what I mean by present is that things are being posted, things are being planned, and more sales are coming in because I'm not directly involved. That frees up my time to go basically live my life and go make whatever I'm doing. And then it's shorter content, but it's like, it's still selling increasingly.
Well, I'm so happy for you. And that's kind of a good tip for me. Maybe, as I broadcast, maybe shorter is sweeter.
Yeah, like don't put pressure on your, like it doesn't need to be like these, like mine was like 20 episodes. I only do like long ones if it's like, or 20 minutes, sorry. Mine's only long ones if it's like a conversation with someone.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would imagine, I would think for me, maybe 15, 20 minutes if I'm doing solo, and a half hour if I'm doing an interview.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to do.
And you could even say like hey guys, I'm showing up today because I'm releasing every other week and this is what I want to say or what I have to share about whatever it is, and don't really want to, I mean, just be honest. Like, I mean, be real. That's, people want real.
Yeah, I mean, I strive to be as authentic as possible. And
Like another example that says like today, like normally, like I gosh, what, a year ago, I think you probably been telling those. And I mean, I was like so tiny. I mean, I was like the thinnest I've probably ever been. I was like 115 pounds. I'm not that right now, but I was like, you know what? I'm still going to post because I still see like my 4-pack. It's on the top 2. I've never had those 2. And I was like, yeah, I'm still actually more confident in my body. I feel like more full in my body now, where before I was like escaping it and healing it. And I was like, whatever. And like, more people commented and liked that than the one when I was super skinny.
Oh, congrats. Definitely, I have health objectives that I've been working on of late. I got below 240 for the first time in a decade.
And that was the first time because what you were expressing, it was the first time after your episode, you were expressing, you were releasing what's meant to be released from you into the world. But what I share that story, not because I'm like, oh my God, look at my social media. I'm sharing that story because I'm sharing it so you guys can see as an example, the recalibration. It's not like there's a secret strategy that I'm telling you on everything. Like it's literally a moment by moment thing, but it's the more authentic you are to you, the deeper you're choosing the unknown, the greater the result is. The more that you commit to and then you follow through on those commitments, and the greater the greatness is.
Yeah, I know follow through is one of my struggles. What have you done to make sure that you
definitely hire mentors
rather than get caught up in other stuff?
I definitely hire mentors. Having a team really helps. So if even you have like a VA, like if you got a VA from the Philippines, James, it's even what, $5 or something. And they did some of your podcasts, like the promoting or whatever, the scheduling or the uploading, but then you have to like be accountable to somebody. Like even if it's, start at $5, start something really, really low and just do a simple task and, whatever. But that way you have to be accountable because there's someone else and it won't get done if they don't do it.
Yeah, very true.
So that's like one in me, coaching and mentoring has changed my life. So that's definitely a huge part of,
Yeah, I know your stories, of a few of the people you work with, especially, how you've been very vocal about, paying for good mentorship rather than just trying to wing it and just getting, bogged down in various things.
I think even why I have such a good team right now is because I'm a mentor. I've really nailed that down because of one of the mentors I have. And I mean, a lot of the healing I've done. Yeah, I mean, all of it. So it's showing up. Like you're showing up now. Like this is you following through. It's now just you taking this and following through on your own creation.
Yes.
Anything else, Justin? James?
I think that's it for now. What about you?
Not a lot, but honestly, it's like been kind of been waiting to put this year to rest anyway since September. After, I mean, after Halloween, after September ends, it's pretty much like, yeah, this year's pretty much over. It's kind of
Not over. I mean, we still have 4.5 weeks left. So there's a lot that can happen in four. I mean, in my life, there's a lot that happens in a week. So I mean, there's a lot that happens in a day. Let me rephrase that. Like, so there's a lot that can happen in 4 weeks. I mean, a whole life can change in 4 weeks. So it's not that it's like putting it to rest, or whatever. It's just, who am I going to be? What am I going to close the year with? What am I going to align to? What am I going to commit to so that I start 2022 off with this solid foundation of this new me?
Ah, yeah.
It's not just throwing away time. Like it's already over. It's never over. It's not over. Like it's like right now begin it. Right now make the decision. So when that calendar flips, you're already in the momentum.
Yeah.
So. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes complete sense.
Perfect.
Makes sense to me too. I mean, there is a lot to do between now and your end.
Yeah, there's a lot of momentum I have going for right now, so it's exciting. But on the back end, my business too.
Then again, I always do recalibrate almost daily. It's like I'm just minding my own business, doing whatever. This always happens by I'm like alone in my own little headspace. I was like, you know what? Wait a minute, let's recalibrate that. Like one of my favorite recalibrations was limiting the word of can't.
Yeah, I think your biggest recalibration for the rest of the year is getting clarity on why you're here, creating a free thing on your social media that goes with a lot of the wisdom that you carry from the mystical teachings that you naturally channel, and then creating an offering so people can pay you one-on-one. That's your biggest recalibration that we need to work through.
Yeah.
Or we get to work through, I should say. So, but I think it's awesome. I will definitely send you guys the recording to this so you guys have it. I definitely recommend re-listening to it. You have lifetime access to this in the other one. James, I will see you on Tuesday for the Imagine call. Justin, I'm sure I will talk to you ASAP through Voxer, and then I will see you on Thursday for our Q&A.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try to make it there.
Bye, guys.
Good night,
Bye.
Colin. Thank you so much.